Welcome back to MS Stocks. In this video, we're going to be looking at inverse finance. It's going to be a bit faster than the last video because I think my first video was it was a little bit long. I'll probably get everything that I want to talk about done quite quickly. Here we sort of got like something like sort of like a bull flag you might look at. To be honest, it's not necessarily close to making a decision, although it can happen whenever. But I quite like that. It's strange because this is one of the only cryptocurrencies that hasn't moved at all since like the sort of the whole like bull run in Bitcoin and stuff has started. Because of course, I'd say we're in a bull market now for sure. Bitcoin, I mean, I reckon that should see all-time highs. It's logical for it to. Again, it can pull back, it can do whatever, but I think that at the end of the day, sort of like in the next year, 2 years is sort of inevitable. Um, Here though, you sort of see like again, it's held this sort of I guess like I guess you could call it like an upwards trend line, although it hasn't really moved a lot. And obviously you've got that sort of like downwards trend line there as resistance. So really it needs to make a decision on one way or the other. I mean, just within this range though, let's say if we bounced off this and just sort of went to test the highs of it, you're looking at 20% if it deviates a bit. Um, you sort of got a little range here that you can have a look at. Um, Sort of here, got this sort of range low, which, basically you can just look at that deviation, reclaim, seems to have held again. Let's see if we can sort of progress upwards. And then, I mean, although this one was a fast move, I guess like you're sort of like upwards sort of end of the range is up here because obviously got there. That used to be well, I guess what you'd say this sort of range here, that was that range low. So now we can expect that to be this range is high. Still got a mid range here as well, which has quite a lot of activity in terms of resistance. Um, but I think realistically, if this coin gets some attention, because that's what it really needs right now, um, then there's no reason why we can't move up to sort of range highs. I mean, we had that sort of wick. We'll have to see if it can sort of like slowly grind up to that. You're looking at 100% gains, 6 months to a year. I'm sure that's quite achievable if Bitcoin obviously keeps doing what it's doing. If I was to draw a little squiggle, let's say if it breaks now, sort of holds it, and then sort of like I'm sure it'd be a fast move upwards when it comes. You've also sort of got a head head one of my favorite formations because generally always works. You can have an inverse head and shoulders formation, which is generally almost always leads to bearish continuation, or a head and shoulders pattern such as this. And you got to remember it's on the weekly, so it sort of counts for more. That's assuming we don't obviously drop back below. But yeah, and sort of we can break out this sort of like bull flag looking structure, then it looks quite good to me. I'll probably have a video tomorrow. I'll be looking at it's very similar sort of market cap as this one, sort of around the 12 million pound mark, so maybe like $15 million. So they are very low caps. It's high risk. Do your own research. I'm not trying to advise. So yeah, cheers for tuning in.